with me. Galya and Natasha's Rocky Adventure. Now, these two girls are not American girls like you all are American kids. They are from, you already knew, they are from this huge country called Russia. You live all the way right about there in Louisville, Kentucky. So, are they close by? No. We have this big ocean we would have to cross to get to Russia. Now, maps are flat, right? But globes are round, right? So I might toss one of these globes out to you, and if you catch it, I just want to see how quickly you think you might be able to spot Russia. Victoria, see if you can find Russia. When you find it, you got to pass it like a hot potato. Sophia's finding, oh, and Simone. Did you find it? No. Pass it. All right, raise your hand if you found Russia. That's where our friends in the story live. Here we go. Chapter 1, not what they planned. This will ruin our whole summer. I don't want to go to Karelia. Galya sat beside Natasha. It could be fun, she said. Mama was an archaeologist. Mama's specialty was petroglyphs, ancient carvings in rocks. Chapter 2, read the title with me. Adventure or disaster. Engineers are people who use what they know about science and math and their creativity to help solve problems. Material engineers work on problems that are related to materials, like investigating the properties of materials or figuring out how to make new materials with new properties. This summer, I'm going to help your mama by taking a look at some of the petroglyphs she's studying. This will be your materials engineering challenge for this summer, figuring out what kind of rock would be best for making your own petroglyphs. Does this look like a good rock that you might be able to carve into? Raise your hand if you think it would be. Why do you think it might be easy to carve into, Zay?
It's flat.
It's flat. Now I've got a different rock. Double thumbs up if you think, or down, would this be good to carve a petroglyph into? Right, Devin, how come that you wouldn't choose that as to do a petroglyph?
Because it's too rocky and rough.
Not if you agree with Devin. Too rocky, too rough. Camille?
It's too small.
Too small. Okay. Who thinks the two sisters are going to choose exactly the same rock? Yes? I'm not sure. No way. Okay, I bet we'll find out. All right, last chapter of this book called Old and New. How did you make these? We thought about it like materials engineers. And that's the end. All right. The last time we were together, we read a story called Galya and Natasha's Rocky Adventure. I want to ask you a couple of quick questions to make sure that you understood the story and that you don't have any misconceptions about anything that went on in the story. If you think it happened in the story, you're going to build me a tease. And if it did not happen in the story, it's hard to build an F for false, so we're just going to go, no, that didn't happen in the story. Think about material engineers. Material engineers are people who use what they know about math, science, and creativity to solve problems involving materials. Give me a vote. That is true. Good job. Galya and Natasha, they made their replicas from rocks, and they both used exactly the same kind of rock to carve their petroglyph. No, they didn't. Even though they were identical twins, they didn't choose the same materials when they moved to the create step. I want to make sure before we move on as material engineers that you understand what the girls, Galya and Natasha, did during each step of the engineering design process. So what I've made for each of you is these little engineering design process steps. And you're all going to get one, and you're all going to get a clothespin. And I'm going to say different things that happened in the story. All right? And if you think, oh, the girls were planning when they did that, you're going to clip by the plan. All right, here we go. Thinking about the story, Galya and Natasha's rocky adventure. Get your clips ready. Galya carved over her line a few more times to make it look a lot clearer. Looks like a lot of you could improve. That's what I was thinking too. All right, get your clip off and be ready. Galya and Natasha brainstormed different rocks that they might be able to use for their petroglyph replica design. All right, put your clips down and check and see if you were thinking the same way as your team.
I think that it's imagined because they said brainstorm, and brainstorm doesn't make me think of any other of these, because when I think of brainstorm, I think of thinking and imagining.
All right, wave your clip in the air so I know you're with me. This is the last one. Here we go. Galya and Natasha drew pictures of their designs so they would know what it might look like when they carved. Most of you have it on, what word? Plan. Ooh, you're on your way. So later this week, boys and girls, if you choose a material and your team isn't happy with it, guess what you get to do? Go to the next step, or the last one that says improve. Now, engineers don't always start at ask and move in that order, okay? You could be creating your replicas this week and jump back here to imagining something totally different. Or maybe asking more questions, looking up more information, asking your teammate, asking Mrs. Keeling more about your engineering design challenge. I am Laura Keeling. I teach in the Learning Lab, which is essentially a STEM lab at Tully Elementary in Louisville, Kentucky. I love the fact that it's starting with a storybook, and the storylines are so compelling. I mean, my kids get into it. They feel that connection to that storybook character. They are so excited to come in here and solve that problem that the character had.